good morning and welcome back, good afternoon should I say, and welcome back to Crypto Saving Experts, where we talk about the latest cryptocurrency news and take a look at the markets so that we all know exactly what is happening. My name is Jess and we do these live streams every single weekday. So if you are new here, please don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that bell notification button so you know exactly what is going on in the craziness of the cryptocurrency space. Let's see what's in store for today. First of all, obviously, the reason the stream has been delayed slightly today is because we are having that inflation data announcement in just 19 minutes time. Now, this is really going to create some volatility in the markets, as it always seems to do. We are expecting an increase in inflation in the US, and that announcement is, as I said, in 19 minutes at 1:30 BST time. So make sure to stay tuned for that. We are going to be talking about what this means for the markets, how it affects the markets, what it means for the markets in the long term. We're going to be talking about it in a lot of detail today, how inflation affects interest rates and all of that good stuff. So make sure to stay tuned. We'll also take a look at the cryptocurrency news within the next 20 minutes as we're gearing up for that announcement. Bitcoin. So let me pull up the chat here. So Bitcoin is currently trading at, let's refresh this page and see if this is from today. Let's see what's going on here. Let's scroll down. CryptoSavingExpert.com, the best cryptocurrency website out there. John says in the chat, hit the like button, everyone. Yes, please make sure to hit like and subscribe. Bitcoin is currently down 1.36% in the last 24 hours to $29,460. As we said in yesterday's stream, it was great that it moved to the upside. We saw a nice move to the upside. In fact, Bitcoin actually crossed that $30,000 level for a short period of time yesterday. And that move was brilliant. It was nice to see. We were all happy in the stream, but Bitcoin hadn't reclaimed any massive levels of resistance. So although we were happy, we didn't have confidence it was going to stay for long, essentially. And this is what we've seen today. Now we have this inflation data announcement in 18 minutes time. We're probably going to see a lot more volatility. Somebody's asked in the chat, Jason Smith has said, which way do you think it will tip? Now, I know I'm always boring on these streams. I always say we're seeing sideways action. I know everybody likes to have those YouTubers that say we're going up, we're going to the moon, or those ones that say we're going down to $10,000. Everyone picks their battle. It's either a bull or a bear. And I come on here every single day and tell you I'm expecting more sideways action. Now, what we've been seeing off the back of these interest rates and inflation rate announcements that happen monthly, we've been seeing a lot of volatility off the back of these. For around half an hour after these announcements, we see a huge amount of volatility. But do you know what's been happening after that half an hour in the last couple of months? We've been going back to the previous trading point. So let's say now we're at $29,500. So what we've been seeing effectively is a half-hour movement of volatility and then come back to around $29,500. So that's what's been happening over and over again. It just wicks a load of people out and then goes back to where it was before. So today, that is something that I am expecting as well. But by any means, an increase in inflation data is a negative for the market. So we do need to keep that in mind. We'll talk about that. Let's talk about that now. Let's talk about what the inflation data means and what effect it will have on the markets. So let's pull this up. This is the inflation data in the US. So you can see here, well, you can't see on this chart because it was the month before, but in June 2022, we saw inflation reach 9.1% year on year. So what that means is from June 2021 to June 2022, there was 9.1% inflation. Now that is absolutely huge. And at that point in time, the Fed said we need to get inflation down to 2%. Now that is an absolute battle. It's not easy to get your inflation from 9.1% to 2%. But how do you reduce inflation? So inflation refers to the amount of purchasing power your currency has. To reduce purchasing power, you need to decrease demand. Now, to decrease demand, you want people to be spending less money, essentially. You want the economy to shrink. Now, to do that, you make it harder for people to spend money. You make people have less money. So you increase interest rates. When you increase interest rates, your mortgages are higher, your bank loans are higher. Any kind of loan we take out, the interest rate on that loan is higher. So people have less money to spend. They're either not taking out loans or they've got more interest to pay every time they take out a loan. So when people have less less money to spend, they're not fueling the economy in the same way. So the economy is going to shrink. And off the back of that, we are also going to see the markets decline because the stock market and the cryptocurrency market are risk on assets. These are risky assets. And when people don't have too much money floating around, they're not going to be putting any into Bitcoin, into crypto, or into stocks. They're going to be trying to store that safely away to use for the necessities. So when this inflation is increasing, we're seeing the interest rates continue to increase. Now, they've been increasing these interest rates over and over and over again. They did have a pause in June, but overall, they've been increasing the interest rates over and over and over again, and it has had a positive effect on inflation. Inflation has come down from 9.1% year on year to 3% year on year. What month was that recorded? June to June. June 2022 to June 2023, there was an inflation rate of 3%. So the purchasing power obviously declined, but overall it was a successful move from 9.1% just 1 year prior. But what we are seeing now is we are expecting to see inflation at 3.3% today. So this is the first increase in inflation we have seen for a year now. So this is what's happening in the markets. Should we be concerned about this? What we are seeing here is a lot of fear around this. We are expecting more interest rates as long as inflation isn't at that 2% target where the Fed wants it. We should expect more interest rate increases down the line. So we need to take a look at that. But let's see what else is going on in the cryptocurrency markets. What I've just heard from the crypto saving expert team, let me pull this up quickly for us just a second. And I will show you breaking news from Crypto Saving Expert. Just checked my phone there, and we've got a nice big announcement here. If you head over to Crypto Saving Expert on Twitter, you will see we have just hit 100,000 followers on Twitter. So make sure, if you have not already, go over to Twitter, give us a follow. Join those 100,000 others learning about crypto every single day. Obviously, we post news over on there. We post all of our guides and we keep you up to date with what is going on in the market. So make sure to check that out if you haven't already. I'll drop the link to that in today's live chat there as well to see you guys. Also, we don't only stream to YouTube, we also stream to Twitter as well. So this stream is going out to you guys on Twitter. If you're watching along on Twitter, make sure to come over to YouTube. It's a win-win there. Let's see what else is going on in the crypto news though. So as I've said there, we've got inflation data that coming out in 13 minutes time. It is expected to have risen from 3% to 3.3%. How will this affect the markets? To be honest, probably right now, it will already be priced in. But overall, it's giving us a heads up that we're probably going to see more interest rate hikes within the next couple of months. And that is, to be honest, what we were expecting already. Now, my price prediction for Bitcoin throughout this period of time is a huge amount of volatility, a huge amount of people being liquidated. But as I said earlier, probably then some sideways action following on and moving back to that $29,500 level where we are now. But we will really have to see. We'll be on the 1 minute chart when that data comes live because it will be volatile and it will be good fun to watch. So let's take a look at some cryptocurrency news for the next 12 minutes, and then when that data comes out, we'll focus on Bitcoin and see what's really happening there. So let's take a look at this first of all. Let's go on to this XRP news. This is what I wanted to talk about this morning. So Ripple legal chief refutes immediate SEC right to appeal pivotal XRP ruling. So the SEC's quest for rapid appeal against prevailing XRP decision contested by Ripple. Now, essentially what's happened here is in courts, the courts determined that XRP sales don't constitute as a security in 3 of the 4 scenarios that were getting discussed in court. So in the XRP lawsuit, they went to court and they were determining whether XRP transactions are a security. Now, the key point here is XRP itself, the token, is not what can be deemed as a security. It's the transactions that can be deemed as a security. So we're looking at transactions to retail investors on centralized exchanges. That was deemed to be not a security transaction. We're also looking at sale of XRP tokens to institutions. We're also looking at the sale of XRP tokens from its CEO and another executive at Ripple. And we're also taking a look at XRP token sale or gifted to Ripple employees. Is this security transaction? Are these security transactions or not? Now, following that case where 3 of the 4 instances were determined to not be securities, we saw a lot of conversation about the SEC appealing that decision. Now, this isn't the end of the XRP lawsuit or the Ripple SEC lawsuit. There's still a long way to go in this, and Ripple have spent an absolute fortune on this. And with that in mind, with this lawsuit not actually being finished yet, the SEC don't necessarily have a right to appeal this court case. Now, you can appeal a whole lawsuit at the end when it's finished, or you can sometimes appeal in the middle, but you don't always have the rights to. Now, the SEC have said, no, Ripple have actually said the SEC does not have the right to appeal the XRP ruling yet. So this is what we were discussing here at the time when that court decision was made. We were saying this here on the channel. A lot of people were discussing about the SEC appealing, and we were saying, whoa, they might not actually have the right to do so right now. They actually might have to wait till the end of the lawsuit, and that is exactly what Ripple are saying here as well. We're ahead of the game here at Crypto Saving Expert. If you have not already, please don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that bell notification button so you don't miss the latest cryptocurrency news. We've got 9 minutes left until that inflation data. So we're going to talk about XRP quickly, and then we'll get back onto that. So what we have here is in the August 9th letter, the financial regulator claimed that there was a need for an interlocutory review of the intra-district split decision on the same issue, citing how the judge disagreed with Judge Torres's decision. So the regulator emphasized the pivotal nature of the review, noting how its outcome could set a precedent impacting other cases. However, the SEC also hinted at the possibility of appealing the final judgment in the court, refuses to grant its motion for interlocutory review. The SEC letter shows that it is not letting up in its quest to bring the crypto industry under its control. Now, the SEC are obviously fighting against Ripple with this. The SEC are known to have said that all altcoins are securities and the transactions are securities. It was reported just 2 weeks ago that Brian Armstrong had been told to delist all altcoins from Coinbase except Bitcoin. But we have actually seen since then the SEC say, look, we're taking a step back from regulating crypto right now. We're focusing on AI instead, and we'll come back to crypto later. So lots of mixed messages from the SEC in the last couple of weeks. As always, they like to be confusing. They don't like to make things clear. We've seen that over and over again. Let's check in with the chat right now. Monkey Nut says, hi, Jess, and everyone. Hope you are having a great day. Hit the like, yes. Please don't forget to hit like on today's stream. So many crypto YouTubers are live streaming right now, and we want to be number one. We want to get in that algorithm as much as possible. So make sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell notification button, comment down below, share the video with your friend, anything you can do to help us with the algorithm, and drop some emojis in the live chat as well, just to get that flowing there as well. So we have 8 minutes now until the inflation data announcement. We are going to hear about inflation in the US. Is it going to be 3.3% as expected? What's going to happen to the price of Bitcoin if it's higher, if it's lower? Let's talk about that in just a second. Before we do, let's see what else I've got pulled up here. We've got lots of stuff up here. Nearly a fifth of New York users own cryptocurrency. Now, that is a huge, huge figure. Coinbase's 4th edition of their report has revealed that nearly a fifth of New Yorkers own crypto. The state also has 692 blockchain companies and more than 800 founders. So thank you very much, New Yorkers, for supporting the blockchain. Let's see what else is going on in this article. Green Universe IO is launching on PancakeSwap. So Green Universe coin is listing on PancakeSwap on Thursday the 10th of August. So that is today, in fact. So it has introduced a cryptocurrency platform with a strong focus on environmental awareness. This platform facilitates connecting individuals and organizations that prioritize ecological responsibility with blockchain technology. Another thing that we have actually got in today's video is some news around, let me pull that to the side, renewable energy for Bitcoin mining. Let's take a look at this quickly. What we have here is 63% of renewable energy is used by the Bitcoin Mining Council, making up 43% of global mining network. So Bitcoin Mining Council's sustainable surge amid energy fed back into the system. Now, this is a really positive thing. A lot of people use the energy consumption for the Bitcoin network as a reason to not be interested in crypto, as a reason to not invest in crypto. But I think we can change that, and we are changing that slowly, and we are seeing movements in the right direction there. So let's see what's going on in the chat. Bikeman says, CSE smashing it. Yes, if you have only just joined, check this out. Crypto Saving Expert have just reached 100,000 followers over on Twitter. Make sure, if you have not already, to go and follow us over on Twitter. If you're following on Twitter, make sure to come over to YouTube and give us a follow as well. And make sure to join in on the live chat. We've got a lot of fun going on in the live chat. over on YouTube, so don't stay on Twitter. Come over here and join us on the good side. But we do have now 100,000 followers on Twitter, so let me drop the link to our Twitter in the chat today. If you don't already follow, make sure to follow us on there as well. Also, let's check. Today's stream looks like it's lagging a bit. Let me know if you have any problems here. Let me know if there are any issues. It looks like it's okay on one platform, but not on the other. If today's stream is lagging, just let me know in the chat and we'll try and sort that out. What we can see here is Monkey Nut says, I miss my emoji copying buddy Lee Scully. Where is he today? Usually he tunes in. Probably it might be in the comments later today. Hopefully he's back tomorrow. Missing the latest crypto news, the most important part of the day. We have some inflation data announcements in 5 minutes time. So let's discuss that quickly. So what do we have here? Let's refresh the 1 minute chart. Bitcoin's already going wacky, as you can see here. Let's reset this price scale here. So we are currently sat at $29,560. Now let's pull up the inflation data and talk about this once again. In just 4 minutes time, we are going to find out the inflation data from July 2022 to July 2023. That year-on-year inflation data that is going to be announced, and that is going to massively impact the price of crypto and Bitcoin like we see every single time. So what we are seeing here is last time, there was June to June, year on year, there was an inflation rate of 3%. Now we are predicting to see 3.3%. Now, obviously, a rise in inflation isn't what we want to see. It's not ideal. We've been seeing interest rates rise and rise and rise and rise, and they have been effective so far, but we want to come to a point where we can see that terminal rate in interest, where they no longer need to continue increasing those interest rates, and we can start to actually reduce those interest rates. Now, this may be a long way ahead of us, but we want to start seeing that point, and it just feels like it's so far away. And with interest rates a pause seeming like it's so far away, or it feels like that terminal rate is so far away, we're seeing a lot of negativity in the markets. Sentiment is low. People aren't feeling positive about the stock market or the cryptocurrency market. So we've got 3 minutes left now. Let's stay tuned on this and see what's in store. Feeling nervous. The Bitcoin price should be very, very volatile once this news comes out. As I was saying before, what we will probably see here is a huge amount of volatility, a huge amount of liquidations. And then my actual personal prediction is, obviously nothing is financial advice, we come back down to that 29 or back up, but we just end up leveling out at around 29,500 to 29,600, because what we've been seeing over and over again for both the inflation data and the interest rate data is that we'll see lots of volatility, and then the price of Bitcoin will go back to where it was prior to the announcement. So that's what I'm expecting here today. Obviously, things might be different. This is the first time we are seeing inflation data increase in the last year. So who knows what to expect here? It's going to be really fun. It's going to be really volatile. So make sure to be prepared for that. Make sure not to be using stupid leverage on Bitcoin this morning. I mean, that is a mistake that we've all made one too many times here, I think. And we've learned from that. I will not be trading this, obviously, because I am on today's stream instead. But let's watch this closely and see what happens. We have 1.5 minutes left. Let's see where this news is going to come from first. The team will be tweeting it out at cryptosavingexpert.com. So let's pull that up and get that ready. They'll be tweeting it out as soon as the information comes live. There we are, live on Twitter as well. I hope you guys that are following along on Twitter come over to YouTube and give us a like, follow, subscribe, hit the bell notification button. What do you guys think of today's thumbnail as well? We've got 1.5 minutes left. I thought this was a pretty good one here today. Let's see what else we've been posting. If you have not already, make sure to give us a follow on Twitter. We post all of the news. We talk about things crypto. We engage in conversation. We'll reply to you, we'll chat to you, and we'll see what's going on. So let's see now. I'm very happy to see that Crypto Saving Experts reached 100,000 followers. We've been working so hard on that. The team work every single day to make that happen. So congrats to them. Let's see what's going on here. Inflation data, we should be hearing any second, and when we do, we're gonna see volatility here. We've got the 1 minute chart up for Bitcoin because that's the chart we need for this data. Let's see who's gonna pull this information in first. Let's keep a close eye on this, and then when we are done, we'll take a look at another article here as well. Let me see if I can find what I was going to talk about today. Anybody got the news in? Let's see who gets the news in first. We are at 29 minutes past now, any second now. Let's see what we can find here. Let me pull that over there. Let's get ready. Let's get ready for this information. Anybody in the chat going to find the inflation data before I do? Let's see what happens. Oh, James says X. It's not Twitter. It's X. Thanks for reminding me. Lee says we need to factor in the ETF decision. Hopefully the ETF decision comes soon. We did discuss that in yesterday's stream and how soon that could be. 6 months, says Mike Livergratz, but we'll see how that plays out. We've got the CPI data here, 3.2% year on year. Let's see if it's come up on this chart yet. So that is actually lower than expected. That is really, really positive here. You can see it's already on the chart, 3.2% year on year, lower than expected. That is going to be a positive thing for the markets. So what we are seeing here is when inflation is lower than expected, people are going to have that sigh of relief. That sigh, yes, it is higher than it was last month, but it's lower than expected. So people are just going to be relieved that we're not on this big battle. Like, I mean, we are still on that battle. We probably will see more interest rates over the next couple of months. But overall, it's not as bad as we thought it was going to be. And that's all we can say there. And you can see on the 1 minute chart for Bitcoin, a big green candle there to start. James says pump. Exactly. That is what is happening right now. Is this pump going to stick, or is it just going to be volatility in the markets? Well, that's the question here. We did see Bitcoin try and move to the upside yesterday. So maybe this is when it needed. But as I said, what we've been seeing over and over again is volatility, and then Bitcoin going back to the point it was before. Let's keep an eye on this. Let's just keep Bitcoin up here while we see what else is going on in the markets. What else I would like to talk about while we are here is, has anybody got any questions on inflation data, on interest data? Let me know in the chat. So let me give you these figures properly. CPI data, 3.2% year on year, 0.2% month on month. Core inflation data, we have 4.7% year on year and 0.2% month on month there. So let's see how we go here. Robert Curry says, pump it up. That is what is happening right now. This is nice to see. This is very nice to see. Lower than expected. Still not great. Still an increase, but lower than expected there. And that is important. James says, pumpy, pumpy. Exactly. We also have a new article that has just gone live from the Crypto Saving Expert team. So let me pull that up for you guys and see what's going on here. If you guys don't already know, we have a Telegram channel where you get notified every time we post an article, so make sure to check that out if you haven't already. Here we go. US CPI data comes in below forecast at 3.2%. The headline US consumer price index has fallen below the forecasted figure once again. CPI data, which measures inflation, was released by the US Bureau of Labor Statistics. The data is a critical economic metric that measures the retail price of a shopping basket of goods and services. There are two forms of CPI, headline and core. Headline inflation demonstrates raw inflation, whereas core inflation removes volatile products such as energy and food due to frequent price changes. So as we can see here, the next FOMC meeting is not actually until the 20th of September. So what we actually have here is another inflation announcement prior to the next FOMC meeting. So the FOMC meetings are when the Fed sit down and determine what should happen to the inflation rates. Should they continue to increase them? Should they put a pause on? Or should they decrease them? I mean, that third option is looking pretty unlikely right now, but that's what the FOMC meetings are about. They talk about interest rates and how they can continue to reduce inflation rates. Now, we have one more inflation rate announcement before the next FOMC meeting. So that FOMC meeting is on the 20th of September, but we are going to hear another inflation announcement on the 13th of September. So that one will really set a precedent for the mood of that FOMC meeting and what could possibly happen to interest rates in the future. But let's keep a close eye on this. This is a really interesting one here. So the Fed hiked interest rates by 25% in July, with the chair, Jerome Powell, hesitant to claim victory too soon and stands by his and the Fed's task of seeing the job through to the end. Therefore, despite the positive inflation release, another hike is not entirely off the table, as the Fed has yet to officially declare a pause on hiking rates. Now, with this increase in inflation, with that expected increase in inflation as well, I'm not expecting too long of a pause, if any pause right now, but we'll know a lot more about this when the next inflation data is announced on the 13th of September, prior to that meeting on the 20th of September. If we take a look at Bitcoin, it's currently up at 29,600. It did get all the way up to 29,635 prior to this announcement. What was the trading price? It was around here. It was at this point here at 29,555. So we have seen a nice increase of $55 there. So James says, Sorry, Lee says first, I meant ARK's ETF proposal, decision Sunday, and will open the floodgates possibly. James says, if anyone believes 3.2%, then I have some land to sell them in Florida with its own wildlife. Just don't let the pets or kids in the garden. This is what a lot of people are talking to right now. How accurate is this inflation data? I mean, that's a conversation for another day, James. We can see here what else is happening in the chat. Also, Lee, we were talking about the emojis before today. Let's see what else is going on in the markets for today before we close off today's stream. I just really wanted to talk about those inflation data. What I want to discuss today is Decent. Decent is a hardware wallet provider. This is one of the team's favorite hardware wallets, a biometric wallet. Has the pros of fast to update with new crypto based on customer requests. App is fast to adapt to changing demand. Signing transactions with a fingerprint is easier and faster than a PIN code. Now, I was with the CSE team just last week and we had a look at one of these and it looked pretty nice, pretty snazzy. Really nice device there, and as you can see here, the biometric wallet is a Bluetooth enabled hardware device able to store your cryptocurrency on it. The large capacity battery allows the wallet to have a long service life, and the device itself links to the Decent mobile application, which is constantly developing and introducing new cryptocurrencies and chains to its ecosystem. It allows access to DeFi products and NFT storage, for example. So there are lots of benefits to this hardware wallet. It's one of the team's favorites, so I just wanted to share that with you guys today. Make sure to head over to cryptosavingexpert.com. I will drop the link to this in today's chat here as well. And I do believe if you go to the bottom of this article, we have a nice referral link here. Yes, we do. If you go over to Decent and you use our discount code, you get $10 off. Just make sure you use that link there as well. So that is all we have for today's stream. I just wanted to show you off that today. And I will actually be able to show you one in person very, very soon. Because although I opened one last week with the team, I'm getting my very own one delivered very, very soon here. So I'll unbox it with you and show you the device myself. I'll drop that link into the chat there if it's going to send. No, it doesn't look like it wants to send that link for some reason. But that is all we have for today. Bitcoin's moving. I mean, we could hold on for a little bit longer. Overall, the inflation data came in lower than expected. It's very, very positive. I'll drop the link for the CSE data and news article on this story as well. But that is all we have for today. So thank you very much for tuning in as always. And I will see you all back here tomorrow with another cryptocurrency news story. Here you go. I can drop the links into the chat now. One last link. Here we go. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you